continue on with gateway questions for Math 104. This is number 38, which comes from the categories number 34 through 43 on solving equations with radicals. So we're going to repeat steps A and B until we're done. First thing we're going to do is we're going to isolate this radical by subtracting 3 onto the left-hand side, which leaves us with the equation r minus 3 equals the square root of r minus 3. So, A, we've isolated a radical. Luckily, there's only one. Square both sides. So, we'll square both sides, which essentially neutralizes, removes this radical. This leaves us with r minus 3 squared, which we'll have to think about, and the radical's removed. So now we have to expand this. We use the binomial theorem. So when we expand this, we get r squared minus negative 3 times r times 2 leaves us negative 6r plus 9. And we're solving the equation here. Subtract a little bit, get everything onto the left-hand side. We'll subtract the r and we'll add the 3. This leaves us with the equation r squared minus negative 6r minus r, that's minus 7r, plus 9 plus 3 plus 12 equals 0. So we have a quadratic equation to solve. And remember, with the quadratic equation, we have coefficients a, b, and c. And when we solve these, we'll be able to solve the solution. So what's the quadratic equation? The r, the variable that we're looking for, it's going to be equal to negative b, so that's positive 7, plus or minus the square root of b squared, negative 7 squared, that's 49, minus 4 times a times c. So that's 4 times 1 times 12, that's 48. And then it's all over 2 times a, 2 times 1. So from this, we're going to get two solutions. So 49 minus 48, that's 1. So we get 7 plus or minus the square root of 1, which is 1, divided by 2. This leaves us with two solutions. The first solution, 7 plus 1, which is 8, divided by 2. Or 7 minus 1, which is 6, divided by 2. So here we have two solutions. The last thing we have to do, because we're working with radicals, is we need to check our answer. So let's reset and check our answer. So at this stage, we found two solutions for this equation, r equals 4 and r equals 3. So let's check them. When we plug in r equals 4, what do we find? Plugging in r equals 4, so r is 4. Does this equal, so the question is, does this equal the square root of r, which is now 4, minus 3 plus 3? Now, if both sides of this are equal, we have a solution. r 4 minus 3 is 1, so we got the square root of 1 plus 3. Square root of 1 is 1, so what do we have? This is actually 4. So what we see is that the equation is satisfied. 4 is a solution. Let's do the same for 3, double check. So r equals 3, is this a solution? So we'll plug this in. Instead of r, we now have 3. And the question is, does this equal the right-hand side, which is the square root of r, which is 3, minus 3 plus 3? Well, when we take the square root of 3 minus 3, that's 0. So we have 0 plus 3, which we know is 3. So they're equal to each other. This equation has two solutions, 4 and 3.